Hey everybody, this is Mindy, and as you can see, I'm sitting here with Melody in front of me. So yeah, she is fantastic. And oh, sorry, that was my chair. But she is fantastic, and she is working up so beautifully. I'm not gonna share a whole lot with you because I want to save it, till the end, so you can see everything that I did. Because, oh boy, this painting has extra ABs, has glow glass, it has sparklers, even has rhinestones, like just rhinestones. So it is turning out fantastic. Here's my new mod pen from Crashly. Isn't it beautiful? It's so cool. And my peace sign color reminder. We are all set to go. We're blinged up and we're ready to rock on, baby, rock on. So I'm going to do this video a little different than some of my other videos. I do have pictures to show. I'm just going to put a series of pictures in. Instead of trying to put them in one at a time and talk about each one, I'm just going to kind of put in a whole bunch and just let you enjoy some of the things I found from the 70s. Okay? I think that most of these will be clothing. I think it'll be the clothing edition today because I found just all kinds of stuff. I talked about clothing a little bit in my last Whip and Chat and some things that I had purchased. And we talked about it in my live a lot. You guys, if you missed the live, you got to go watch it. And it was so much fun just reminiscing about things. If I couldn't think of something, subscribers were thinking of something. You guys, you got to check out the lives. I'd like to see more people come to the lives because we really have a good time. And it was just like a walk down memory lane, a lot of laughs. It was a great time. Yeah. So anyhow, check that out on the replay if you haven't seen it. And I hope that you can, pop in some Saturday night, 7 o'clock, because we really do have a great time. And, extra things happen during the live that you just don't get on the replay. Replays are cool and, that's great, but sometimes you miss out on the real live action. But anyhow, it was fun. We had a blast. So you'll see a bunch of pictures. I'm not going to, talk about each and every one of them, but I just thought I'd give you a blast from the past. And if you're young, you won't have a blast from the past, but it should be interesting to see some of the crazy things we did, right? And we really did them, you guys. This isn't just, made up. It's actually things that we did. Anyhow, so that'll be that. So I'll do the pictures like after I take care of some business portions here, and then I'll tell some stories. Okay, because I got stories. I gotta take off from middle school. That's where I left off last time, was middle school. No, not middle school. I didn't go to middle school. I went to junior high. I didn't have a middle school. I'm so ingrained in thinking about middle school these days, but we didn't have middle school. It was elementary, junior high, high school. Anyhow, so here's the business portion. Business portion. I already just said, lives, Saturday nights, I hope you can make it. It's a great time. Maritza from Kiss My Crafts, Kara, the principal painter, and I are the ones that are working on this melody together. We've gotten a couple of pictures in our Instagram, Melodies of May hashtag. And a couple other people are working on this. I think Connie finished it. Kathleen's working on it. But you don't have to work on this. Like I said before, post some pictures of what you're working on in May. Just post some pictures. We like to see them. You can use hashtags Melodies of May. Gwenda, I just saw Gwenda post on Instagram. She's new to Instagram. It's kind of fun. She won a giveaway in one of my lives, and she got her painting, and she's going to work it up real quick, and she's going to put it on Instagram. I'm excited to see it all finished. So, yeah, whatever you're working on, hashtag Melodies of May, okay? Post what you're working on. Follow along. Now, we have mentioned that there will be giveaways. There will be one giveaway from each channel. We are each going to do our own giveaway, but, we're coordinating what we're doing. You know what I mean? So, yeah. How do you get entered for these giveaways, these little prizes that we're going to give away? Comment. Comment on the videos. Comment on the Whippin' Chats. Kara does one on Tuesdays. I do mine on Wednesdays. And Maritza does hers on Thursdays. So there you go. There's one almost every day of the week. So check them out and comment on the videos. What we're going to do is we're going to number all the comments, like all of my comments for all of my Whippin' Chats. Get a number. And at the end, there will be a random number picker, random number generator. And the number that wins. The number that's picked wins. That's how it works. I think I said last time, we haven't been able to show you prizes yet because, like, everybody's out of stock right now. And we're waiting on things to come in. But there are many companies out there that are starting to get new stock. And we're going to wait until some of them get restocked and then pick our paintings that we're going to give away. And once we decide what we're giving away, then we'll show you. Yeah. So, but it will be paintings, and they'll be from some cool companies that are in the process of trying to restock. So just hold the phone, folks. Hold the phone. You got to wait just a minute or two. Okay? Wait a minute or two. So I think that's all I have to say about that. Thanks for watching. Comments, all that stuff. And like I said, hashtag Melodies of May. Show us what you're doing. Show us your progress. We'd love to see pictures. Does not have to be melody. Okay? I'd love to see more pictures this week. Yeah. I feel like I'm talking to my students. I told them last week in our Zoom class, I wanted them to draw a picture. We're supposed to be studying plants and flowers and animals, and I wanted them to draw me a picture. We'll see if anybody draws me a picture. We meet today. We'll see if I get any pictures. Anyhow. So there we go. Yeah, I think that's about all I have to say for that. This does run through the end of May. And then we'll give you more information when we get right towards the end of May about the giveaways. And hopefully we're going to be able to get some paintings in our hands here really soon. Really soon. So there you go. There you have it. That's what's up. I think that's about it for that. Thank you for all of your support and subscribing to my channel and watching my videos, you guys. It's just amazing. It's amazing. I'm just overwhelmed sometimes. Overwhelmed. I do have a new little something in the works. I just did it today. I'm recording on Tuesday. I just finished it and got it ready to roll. And that is something called memberships. Memberships is something that I was recently given the opportunity to include on my channel. And I was like, okay, let me think about it. I thought about it for a minute, and then I thought, why not? Let's try it. Okay, let's just put it out there and let's give it a shot. So I've been working on what my memberships would look like and planning. I've done quite a bit of planning, did some little extra things. So anyhow, here's what the premise is, right? The premise is you guys can join. Subscribers can join. There's a join button. If you go to my channel, you have to go to the channel, and where you would normally see the subscribe button, there should now be a join button. And you hit join. When you hit join, it will take you in and let you see, first of all, a little video. It's me. I say in the video, don't mind the hat. You guys know, hairdressers have been out of work now for a long time, and my hair is a hot mess. So I'm wearing a hat. Anyhow, you watch the little video, and then it explains what memberships are, what my memberships are a little bit. It'll take you in and let you look at it and see what, what all the different tiers are, because there's different tiers of members. So basically what happens is you go in, you look at it, you decide if you want to monetarily help the channel, contribute a little bit each month to my channel. I have 2 levels right now. I started very small. I didn't want to overwhelm people, and I wanted to just get a feel for, what you guys thought about it. So I started small with just 2 levels. And it lays it out for you when you go into memberships and look at it. It tells you the prices. I have $1.99 for, I think it's the round tier, round drill, round drill tier, right? And you get certain perks as a member. And it tells you what the perks are. Shout out and videos, things like that. You get a badge by your name. You get special emojis. I went and I did the emoji part. So you can get special emojis that you can use as a member. And then, like, I think I said pictures, like some little pictures, for members only. And you'll find those things. Usually they'll come through community tab when I have something special for members. Okay. And then there's a $4.99 tier, and that adds a couple other things, plus all of the previous things. You get some video clips, some gifts, not gifts, but GIFs. I think that's how you say that, gifts, little funny things. But you get little extra things for being a member. You get more insider scoop. You get to see things that other people don't get to see, right? As a little benefit for helping to monetarily support my channel a little bit so that I can continue to purchase new things, show you new things. Someday I would like to have a laptop. I don't have a laptop. I do all of my filming on my phone, which works, but I would really like to have a laptop. I think it would make things much easier. So just things like that. I'm trying to improve the channel all the time and do a better job. And financial support will certainly help with that. So check it out. I'm going to try to link the membership page in my videos from now on. I'm not going to go back and do all the previous ones, but I will try to link it going forward. And you can always just go to the channel, like go to my channel, not just a video, but go to the channel, and there should be a join button. Check it out. That's all I'm asking. Just check it out. See what you think. I have some ideas for some other things I could do in the future for another tier. Right now I have the round drill tier. I have the square drill tier. And I think I have room for an A-B drill tier. What do you think? And I want to know what people think. If you wanted to be a member, you want to contribute, you want to get these special perks, let me know what you'd like. That's what I'm kind of holding out for. I didn't want to just jump in and assume what everybody would like. I wanted to chit-chat with you guys and see what you would be interested in. So, yeah, I have room to grow for another level. Or 2 even. But that's what I wanted to talk to you about a little bit. So, check it out. Let me know what you think. There you go. That's the business side of the video. The business side of the video. All the details about all the things going on, all the updates and stuff like that. Okay? I think at this point, you're going to see a bunch of pictures. I'm going to put in pictures about right now. And then I'll come back and I'll reference the pictures a little bit. And then we'll talk about my life moving on from junior high. All right? Okay. Get ready for the cool pictures of the 70s. So, wasn't that fun? Yep. We really wore those clothes, didn't we? We really did. I know I talked about the halter top in my last video, one of my first purchases. Some of those shoes, oh my gosh, like the sandal tip shoes, I had those. For sure, I had those. Yep. The wooden ones, the wooden bottom ones, they look like they're super uncomfortable. They actually weren't. They're actually pretty comfy. I had those for sure. And the sandal type, oh yeah. Yep. Definitely had me some of those sandal ones. Mine were almost exactly like the brown sandals. Almost exactly. Yeah. Oh man, good times. Good times. The clothing was certainly something, right? Certainly something. But yeah, clothing was fun. And, it was a time in our life when we were experimenting with, growing up and all that stuff. So it was especially fun, I think, just because we were at that age of experimenting, things like that, Anyhow, it's a hoot. There's one special picture in there that I'm going to talk about in just a little bit because I will never forget it. I actually have pictures. I might be able to find some I don't know how I'd show them to you. I'd have to figure out how to download them and all that stuff. I don't know. But we'll talk about it in a little bit. But such fun times. Really, such fun times, So, anyhow, I think in my last Whip and Chat, I left off at junior high. Things that happened in junior high. Met my husband, he was just the boy kind of next door at that point. And, in middle school, not middle school, I keep saying middle school. In junior high, we didn't date. We just knew each other. And we didn't really even talk to each other, I don't think. Not much, anyhow, except maybe in that class that we had together. I certainly knew who he was, though. I knew who he was. Of course, we rode the bus together. Then we went off to high school. Yep, we went to high school. High school for us started in 9th grade. And that's really when it all kind of started, 9th grade. We started talking to each other more and things like that. And I think I was 15. I think I was 15 when he actually kind of said, hey, I just live down the street, I want to hang out. And I was just, want to hang out. Okay, hang out, right? So he rode his bike to my house. It was really just, I don't know, 1.5 to 2 miles down the road. It wasn't far. So he rode his bike over. He did that several times. He'd just ride his bike over to my house and he'd just come hang out and whatnot. It kind of was more, kind of hung out with some of the neighbor kids as well. There was one kid that lived next door. He was always over at our house and he'd kind of hang out a little bit with us, and Dale would come down and we'd hang out and whatnot. That was all it was, really, just hanging out. He'd ride his bike over, we'd hang out. And I think it was about that time we started talking on the phone, a lot of talking on the phone. I'd pull the long phone cord off the wall, because, the phone was attached to the wall, the rotary dial phone that was attached to the wall. And I'd bring that phone over to the basement stairs. And I'd go down the basement stairs and sit on the steps. I've drug the cord all through, across the kitchen or whatnot. So I can go sit in the basement where I can have privacy and just sit and talk on the phone. Forever and ever. And of course now everybody's got to step over the cord if they're going down the hallway, because I've got it drug across the hallway between the kitchen and, the hall. But we would talk forever and ever and ever. I don't know what we talked about. What do we have to talk about? I mean, we saw each other at school. What more was there to say? No clue. But we talk forever and ever and ever, right? So by the time I was 16, yep, we were officially dating, officially boyfriend, girlfriend type thing. And he got a car. Yep, he got a car. So then we could go places. We could actually date. We could date, right? I remember before we could actually date, I remember he would come over and we would sit in our living room, the formal living room. This was not the family room where the TV was and everything. It was just a formal living room. And we would sit in there and we'd sit on the couch in the living room. That's where the piano was and things like that. We'd sit on the couch and we'd snuggle and we'd talk. And we always had to keep our eye open, because who knows when like a brother or sister or parent could come into the room, right? Yeah, we didn't want to get caught in there because, snuggling led to a little more kissing and you know what happens, right? Little things happen in my living room. And yeah, we didn't want anybody coming in there and finding out what we were up to, Do you remember anybody ever do this, or was just me and my friends? There was always this thing we did when we were around people, friends and whatnot, and we'd be like, hand check. Did you do that? Hand check meant, put your hands up. Where they at? We need to see what they're doing. What are your hands up to? Shouldn't be someplace not supposed to, right? Yeah, I remember that. Oh my goodness. I do remember getting walked in on in the living room several times by a brother or a sister or whatnot, and we'd jump and, no, we weren't kissing. No, we weren't doing this. No, we weren't, Oh boy. But yeah, that's what happened. That was my world. Okay. Then, dating, he got the car. Ooh, he's got a car now. And my parents actually let me date. Okay. They let me date, go out with him, had a curfew and all that. So a lot of times this is what would happen on our dates. This is what would happen. He'd come, he'd pick me up in his car. And we'd end up back at his parents' house. And it would be him and some buddies. And they were quite often working on a car. He's always been a car guy, worked on cars, worked on engines, this and that. So they'd be working on a car or whatnot. And I'd just be kind of sitting there hanging out. I'd sit in the yard or sit on the porch and I'd just watch these guys messing with the car, right? Then when they were done with their car, whatever they were doing, then we'd actually go someplace. I don't remember a lot of places we went on dates other than maybe the movies and stuff and maybe to get something to eat. We did a lot more just driving around. We did a lot of driving around, There was another town near us. We'd cruise the street between the two towns, back and forth, stop at the gas station, get something to drink. Maybe there'd be some friends there, hang out and talk for a while. That's what we did for the most part. That was our dating. That's what we did. No big fancy dates. We did have a few times we'd go out to dinner and things like that. I got a story about a special dinner I'll tell you in a little bit. But we also did, well, I will just be very blunt and honest with you right now. We would hang out at Dale's house. This is after we'd been dating a while. We'd hang out at his house. His parents always went to bed early. And so we would go back to his house after a while. Yep. That's where the troubles began. I don't need to tell you what happened, do I? Do I need to tell you what happened? I don't think I do, right? Yep. Dale and I, well, we were together, right? We were together, the first people, him and I, each of us. It was just, yeah. That's all I'm gonna say, right? You can figure out the rest. But we'd hang out at his house sometimes. Sometimes it was a big time of parking. Anybody else go parking? We lived in the country, out in the country, and we'd go parking. We'd find us a couple little abandoned dirt roads, no traffic on them, and we would just go and, we'd park, right? You know what happens when you're parking. And that's what we'd kind of do sometimes. Well, a lot of times, I guess. But, I remember a couple times that we were parking on a, back deserted kind of road. And I remember one time, all of a sudden we saw lights behind us. And then there was a tap on the window with a flashlight. Yep, it was an officer of the law had to come to make sure everything was all right. And yes, sir, everything's just fine. Yep, okay, well, move along then, time for you to, move on. Yes, sir, yes, sir. And we left, Yeah. But you see, this man, Mr. Dipple, Mr. Mindy's moment here, him and I have a long history. Very, very, yeah, we go way back, right? And that man has always been like the love of my life. I mean, he really has. From that time when we actually started dating in high school until we stopped dating after high school, always. It's always held a special spot. And the fact that we are now together is just, it's what was meant to be, I guess. Meant to be. So there's that. There's my little sordid tale, right? My little dirty secrets. Anyhow, it is what it is, okay? It was a very interesting time. I was in band still playing the clarinet. I played the clarinet from, the moment I picked it up in, I think, 5th grade all the way through high school. I was in marching band. So that meant Friday night football games every Friday night, So we would go out and we would do the halftime show and we would do our thing. And here's another one of my dirty little secrets. There was a lot of alcohol. And it usually started under the bleachers after halftime was over. Yep, seriously. And that was the time when every Friday night, it seems like every Friday night when there was a home game, there was a dance. There would be a dance after the game, right? And we'd finish up with our band stuff. We'd go into the band room, take care of our instruments. We usually had extra clothes there. We'd change out of our uniform, and then we'd go to the dance. Does anybody remember high school dances from the 70s? There was always a band. We always had a band, like a live music band, which was usually some, kids or something. But we had a band and dances. I was not a dancer. I really wasn't. I never was a dancer, but I was one of the people that would just kind of hang out and chit-chat and talk and whatnot. There usually was like some food or whatnot and, drinks and, just it was time to just hang out and just talk with my friends and stuff like that. And Dale, of course, he was there. But yeah, that was an interesting thing that we did. Friday night dances after the games. The stuff we did under the bleachers, though, that was a whole different thing. A whole different thing. I don't know. There were some kids that were older because at that time, the drinking age was 18. Legal drinking age was 18. And there were kids in high school that were 18. There were. And we did a lot of drinking under the bleachers. I don't know why. it was just what we did. Um, I wasn't a bad kid. I wasn't. I was one of the good kids. I was a good kid in my family. I got in less trouble than my brother and my sister did for sure. But I certainly did things, certainly did. I know you guys are surprised, shocked, right? Shocked. Oh my gosh. But I don't know. It was just the time, the era, I guess. That's all I can say. Um, so what else was I going to say? I was going to say something else. My mind just went blank. Yeah, we'd go to the dances, and then Dale and I would usually leave, and we'd drive around some more or whatever, and he'd take me home, right? We would get to my house, and we'd sit out in the driveway. And I remember sitting in the driveway in the car, and he always had some music. There was always some new music he'd just discovered, some new band, some new group, something he wanted me to listen to. And we would sit in the car and we would listen to this music, right? And we'd sit in the car for a while. I did have a curfew. I was supposed to be in at a certain time. I don't remember what that was now, but I was home. I was just in the driveway, right? And then my mom would start with the lights. She would flick the porch light. She'd flick the light. And that was my cue to be like, okay, it is time for you to come in. I know you're there. I know you're out in the driveway, but it's just time for you to get in the house. And the porch light would click once, maybe twice. And then I'd go, okay, I gotta go in. And so, we'd say our goodbyes and all that stuff, and I'd go in. But I'll never forget my mom flashing the porch lights to tell me it was time to come in. Always did that. So it was also a time of rock concerts. Whoever went to a rock concert? Oh my gosh, I forget how many rock concerts I went to. I forget how many I went to. There were so many. There were concerts all the time. And they weren't that expensive. It didn't cost you that much money to go see some rock band, right? Like, Peter Frampton, and I never saw like Journey or anybody. I can't remember all the concerts I went to, but there were a lot of them. I usually ended up going with my sister to those. I don't know that Dale and I ever went to the concerts together. It was usually my sister and some other friends went. Every once in a while we'd take my brother. He was younger, but we'd take my brother when he got a little older. But always a rock concert somewhere to go attend. Peter Frampton was wild. That one was wild. Whew! We were right up in the front, and it was like Alice Cooper. I remember Alice Cooper. That was one we went to see. Yeah, my sister remembers them better than I do, but there were so many. So many. We used to have a little place right in Lansing called the Civic Center. And the Civic Center was where they would have all these concerts at. They eventually closed the Civic Center down, and that was a sad day. No more concerts at the Civic Center, but we saw a bunch of them. I always had to get your rock t-shirt, your band t-shirt when you went, I had a bunch of those for a while. I think they're all gone. I don't have any more. But you had to get the band concert shirt when you went to the concert. Yep, good times. Really, really good times. But, I got a car finally. When I was 16, I got a car. A lot of good things happened when I was 16. Dale got a car. I got a car. Dale and I were dating. A lot of good things happened at 16. It was a good year. I started working at my parents' store, so I would get like 2 hours off or maybe 1 hour at the end of the day from school, work experience, and I would go to the store. I had a car now. Drive my car up to the store. and work. When I first started working, you guys, my dad, I got $1 an hour. When I was first on the payroll, $1 an hour. That's what my dad paid me. Uh-huh. I'm not certain if I think I was making a little bit more than that when I started working, after school. I think he gave me a little raise. I was making enough money that I could get a car, right? And my first car was a 69 Camaro. I'll put a picture of that in here. It's not my car. This is not a picture of my exact car, but it's a picture of what my car looked like, right? Loved that car. Loved my 69 Camaro. I remember my dad helped me get a loan for it at the bank. And I had to have a credit card to get a loan for some reason. I'm 16. I get a credit card and I get a car loan at 16. Go figure, right? My car payment, I remember, was $60 a month. My car payment. I loved that car. I held on to that car for a long time, until the engine really needed work. It needed a new engine because it just burned oil and it was just a hot mess. So I parked it at my parents' house out in an old barn shack kind of thing. And I held on to it for a long time, thinking that someday when I had money, I would fix it up again and restore it and whatnot. It never happened. The horses started getting to it, started eating the vinyl top off it, and finally I sold it to somebody who said that they were going to restore it. And I thought, okay, my baby is going to go to somebody else who's going to restore it, bring it back to its, beauty. And I don't think they ever did. I should have just held on to the thing. They're worth so much money now. When Dale and I first started driving, I remember his El Camino. I'll put a picture of the El Camino in here too. He had an El Camino. Yeah. And that was a pretty hot ride right there, right? But we rode around in the El Camino a lot. And then he got a 69 Camaro. Yeah, he got a 69 Camaro as well. So we were cool, man. Him and I, we both had our 69 Camaros. Another buddy of his had a 69 Camaro. It was the thing. It was just the thing. So those cars, we're talking like 1976, so they're a little older, but man, we all regret it. Every single one of us that had one regret not keeping it because they are so popular now, and you really spend a pretty penny to get one now. But love that car. After that, I had to get another car because that one, I was literally, every time I took it anywhere, I'd have to put like a quart of oil in it. I got good at putting the oil in my car, but, finally, that one was all paid for, so I had to get a new car. What did I get? I got another Camaro. A blue one, light blue. I don't remember the year. Something happened to that one. I got another one, another Camaro, another light blue one. My parents got in an accident with that one. This was when I was now in college, going to community college. They got in an accident with that one and totaled it. But I turned around and I got another one. I got a red one that time. So I had four Camaros. I just kept getting Camaros. And then when I ended up, I was pregnant with my daughter, my mom was like, I think you need to get rid of the Camaro because you're going to have a child now. So here's the thing. Dale and I, in high school, we dated for a long time. And then we broke up. And he dated some other people, and I dated somebody else. And then we got back together again. We dated again. And then we broke up. I don't know why that kept happening. It just did. And then we were back together at prom time, our senior year, prom. And we went to the prom. Wait, let me go back. Back before prom, when we were dating the first time, there was a store. There was a store in the mall. It might have been Claire's even, because Claire's has been around forever. and I saw a ring at Claire's, and I fell in love with this ring, okay? And I put it on layaway. Do you remember layaway? You used to be able to lay away things, pay a little bit each month or each week or whatever until you paid for it, and then you could pick it up. I used to do layaway all the time. So I put this ring on layaway, put some money down on it, like $20 or something. And then I was telling Dale about the ring, okay? And we went to dinner one night when we actually went out to a dinner, you know. And we're having dinner and he gives me a little present. And it was the ring. He had gotten a job. It was like his first job. He had gotten some money and he went and he picked up my ring out of layaway and gave it to me at this dinner. You guys, that ring is on my hand right now. It's this ring right here, if you can see it. It's this ring. It's a Lindy star. And I have always worn that ring. Always, since he gave it to me. Even when I was married to somebody else, I wore that ring. Yeah. So, yeah, that was something right there. That was something. But anyhow, then we get to prom, our senior prom, and, you know, of course, he asked me to go to prom, and we went to prom. We did the whole picture thing. We had pictures taken at my house. A lot of pictures in that living room. That living room I already told you about, with the piano. There's pictures of us on the piano bench and things like that. Now, I will insert a picture of what Dale wore to prom. You ready? Here it is. Yep. It was the 1970s leisure suit. It was the leisure suit. And a lot of guys wore leisure suits to the prom. If they didn't wear a leisure suit to the prom, they probably wore one of those tuxes with all the ruffles on the shirt. But yeah, he wore that blue leisure suit. And the funny thing is, you guys, about a month or two ago, my daughter was cleaning up over at the other house, and she was emptying out the closet, and she brought me some things. And one of the things she brought me was my prom dress. It's in the office right now. My prom dress. Yeah, I still have it. Oh, goodness. So, yeah. That was high school. Some of the things I remember. I already did mention that, you know, the drinking age was 18, and then they changed it to 21. So we are in that weird age where we were legal, you know, to drink once. Then they took it away from us. And we couldn't buy for a little while, and then we had to wait till we were 21 again. So there was like a year and a half or something in there, maybe 2 years, where we weren't allowed to buy alcohol when we already had been able to buy alcohol. It was really weird. Yep, that was our era right there. That was strange. But, I mean, that was my life in the 70s, guys. That was what I did. I've said it before, you know, Dale and I did end up breaking up like after high school, but then we saw each other again after high school for a while. It was just one of these, I don't know, it was, he seems to think that he'll tell me, and if my mom's watching, sorry Mom, but he'll say it was my mom's fault, that my mom told us that we should date other people, that we were too young. We were too young to know, too young to be in love, too young to, you know that we wanted to be married or anything like that. So we should date other people. And so I said, okay, and I did. And that's where the trouble came in. I never should have. Never should have. But, you know, things happen in life, and they happen for a reason, I think. And things that him and I went through in the time that we were apart, the 25 years or so, was, it was all part of our lives, all part of who we are, part of our history and what we are and who we became. And I think we came together when we were supposed to, and I've never looked back from that moment. When I ran into him at the convenience store, I knew that this was my time. This was my time to, finally be with the one person in the world that was always in my heart. I mean, I wore the ring my entire life, guys. Always in my heart, right? Never went away. It was just a matter of time. Well, I didn't get any more wax in that pen when I did that because it's still not sticky. Yeah. It worked out the way it was supposed to, I think. I mean, we talk about it, what would have happened if, but you can't go back and wonder about what ifs. They don't do you any good. It is what it is. So, anyhow, I hope you enjoy. I still don't have wax in that. What is going on? Why can't I get any more wax in this pen? I know why, because it's got patty wax in it, and the white wax won't stick to the patty wax. Jeez, oh Pete. Let's put some more patty wax in it. Yeah, just some memories I've had of my past. There you go. I'll share them with you. Don't judge me too harshly. Don't judge me too harshly. I did some things. What? It was the 70s. What can I say? It was the 70s. So I think I'm going to stop here for now, and I'll share some more stories with you next Whip and Chat. I hope you enjoyed the fashion show. It really was a fashion show. You never knew what people were going to come up with in the 70s. But it was fun. It was good times. All right, so I'm going to go. Thank you for watching the video. Like I said, check out Principal Painter's video. I'll try to link everybody's videos underneath mine when I can, because we're putting them up on different days. So when they put them up, I'll link them. Watch theirs, comment, get yourself some entries. Each comment gets its own number. So if you comment on each video, you'll have, more than one chance already. So comment, watch, like, subscribe, check out the join, all that, memberships, stuff like that. And you guys, I can't tell you how much I appreciate what you do. It's just little old me, just doing what I do. I'm nothing fancy. I just, I share what I love. And that's all I do. And I appreciate that you enjoy it. And you keep coming back. All right. So I'm going to go now. Probably finish up this little section right here. Then I get to go Zoom this afternoon with my kids at school. That's winding down here pretty soon. But like I said, thanks for watching, you guys. If you are new here, I would love it if you'd subscribe and keep coming back. Hit the notification bell. That is really important, so you know when videos come up. So until next time, you guys, have a great day, and I will talk to you soon.